So it's been almost 2 weeks since I made that video, and everyone jumped on the ranting challenge. And yeah, for years we've been protesting, but not much has really changed. But have you ever stopped to ask why? And a major problem we don't usually talk about is that we are uneducated. We are uneducated about how the government works, and I mean all of us, including myself. We don't understand politics, cultures, or even our own rights. We don't fully understand what the government owes us, and that lack of knowledge creates a lapse in our critical thinking. Because if we had some knowledge, we won't say some things. We won't say things like, all of us are corrupt, not just the government. I saw this video of this guy blaming corruption on individuals, like all Nigerians are corrupt, or the people that are thankfully escaped their delusions of saying Lagos is not smelling, to saying it is not the government's fault that Lagos is smelling, it's because people pee on the streets. But then I ask you, why doesn't that happen abroad? Like, when Nigerians that are so naturally bad or so naturally corrupt, when they go abroad, why don't they pee on the roads? Why don't they bribe the police officers there? Why do they do all these things? Because the government put systems in place to prevent it there. People in the United States are not better than us. There are government systems in place to combat shit like this. Free public toilets. And if you try and pee on the sidewalk in the US or more, I cannot even imagine. Police go carry you. No be the one where you go bribe them 1K and they will let you go. See, in the US, if a senator is corrupt, they will arrest him and destroy his career. If an individual is corrupt, he will face legal consequences. But in Nigeria, politicians will steal billions and get at most a slap on the wrist. And allegedly, this person stole 7.1 billion naira and was sentenced to 12 years. But only spent 1 year in prison. This woman here allegedly used 255 billion naira to buy luxury cars for herself. Now let's compare with other countries. George Santos was a US congressman, and he stole campaign money. He did not steal public funds, and he was expelled from Congress. This woman, I will mispronounce her name, but that's her name. She's the ex-president of South Korea. She took bribes from companies. She received bribes from companies, and she was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Next, this person committed massive tax frauds, bribed witnesses. He was sentenced to years. He was the ex-president of France, was convicted for trying to bribe a judge and misusing campaign funds. He was sentenced to 3 years in prison. Meanwhile, in Nigeria, if an armed robber steals 50,000 naira, he can get life imprisonment or death penalty. If a petty thief steals a phone or food, he can actually get 5 to 10 years in prison. This is not guaranteed. These are all subject to the kidney of the judge, but a politician who steals billions meant for public welfare will get maybe 8 years, maybe a fine, sometimes nothing at all. So when we are saying they created policies and laws to benefit them, not us, we are not joking. And I think we are not educated to know certain things like that. As senators can actually create policies to help us, but every time we keep voting for incompetence, we keep voting for people that we like instead of people that can do the job. So that's why for the rest of this challenge, I'm not going to rant because you guys have said a lot. And this challenge, I'll be breaking down how the government is playing you. They use poverty, ignorance, tribalism, and this defeatist mentality and narrative to keep you powerless. I'll teach you some of your rights. I'll expose some of their tactics and explain some of their failures. Because at the end of the day, if you don't even know your rights, you can't fight them. And I really hope at the end you are more enlightened on what is happening and what to do. Thank you.